What's up everybody, Guy with the Count 23 and welcome to day 6 of my top of 2014, and in this video I'm going to be counting down my picks for the top 5 characters of the year. Now there have been some great films this year, but films aren't anything without characters, you know. If you don't have the right characters, the audience can fail to connect with the film and your whole film can fall apart, and in my opinion these are the characters that did that the best. Now in at number 5 is a character from a film that, to be perfectly honest, you could probably take any character from this film and be one of the best characters of the year. But at number 5 I'm going to be going with Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy. Now this guy, this tree-like man, can portray a lot of different emotions with just 3 words: anger, happiness, sadness, just disdain. And yeah, really interesting to see. Really just one of the funniest films of the year, and just a really, it's just a fun character. There's nothing really kind of that much to say about him. He's a tree person, he can grow, he can die and then regenerate. Yeah, there's not really that much to say really. It's just really just a fun, just in a film full of fun characters, that is the funnest to me. Also the fantastic great little scene where he's kind of like killing all those guys and he looks back and does that smile. Really cool. And yeah, so number 5 we have Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy. In at number 4 is a character from a film that not a lot of people saw, but I really liked, and I'm going to be going with Dwight from Blue Ruin. The reason I've picked this character is basically because he's not a kind of a massive, like a mercenary, you know, just a regular guy who happens to take revenge on someone who did something to his family. He's, like I say, he's not the Terminator. Excuse me. He's not like the Terminator. He's just a regular guy. Just kind of just I don't know. It's just really again, it's just interesting to watch. You know, the transformation of this character from like I guess a bum, if you want to say that, to kind of like this guy who basically kind of mercenary, but is not indestructible. You know, he's just a regular guy. And number 3 in my countdown may be a character in a film, but he is very much real. And number 3 I'm going to go with Mason from Boyhood. Basically, kind of the dictionary definition of an actual character. You see him grow up from a 6-year-old child to an 18-year-old man. It's really kind of probably the purest kind of character of the year in this list. You know, you see him grow up at various stages of his life. Yeah, some of it, it may be kind of written. You know, these situations don't usually might have not come up naturally. But you really kind of see the kind of the progression of this character all the way through his, well, not his whole life, but all the way through the life that you see in the film. So yeah, just really interesting character. And then number 2 is a character that I didn't particularly like, but I appreciated. No, did I appreciate him? But I kind of understood. No, I didn't really understand him either. And that is Lou Bloom from Nightcrawler. And the reason I picked this character is, he's not really a character. There's nothing behind those eyes. He's just a shell of a man. He doesn't feel any remorse. He's a criminal. He's a narcissist. He's a sociopath. He's, in one for better ways, a murderer. But that's what makes him so compelling to watch. You could kind of compare him to Jordan Belfort from The Wolf of Wall Street. He's kind of the same character, but done in 2 very polar opposite ways of doing it. Jordan Belfort is kind of like the more kind of fun-loving guy, and Lou Bloom is kind of like I said, the sociopath, the narcissist. But it's like I said, it's just so interesting to watch. And I don't even know if I particularly like the film itself, but the character is just so interesting. You really want to kind of find out if there is any reasoning behind what he does. You want to kind of find that out. But like I say, just really interesting character, and a really interesting character. It's a character study, this film, really, more than it is kind of like a filmic film. What the fuck am I talking about? But kind of a film itself. So yeah, number 2 we have Lou Bloom from Nightcrawler. And then at number 1 of my top 5 characters of the year is a character from a film that there's some of these characters on my list that are kind of you don't particularly like, but in this film this character is a guy you love to hate and hate to love at the same time, and that is Terence Fisher from Whiplash. Now I know This film doesn't come out in the UK till I think about the 16th of January, but I saw it last year, so I'm counting it as a 2014 film, even though technically it was filmed in 2013, so it's technically a 2013 film. But anyway, this character is despicable, you know, he's a terrible, terrible person, but he does it for a good reason. Well, I think a good reason anyway. It's kind of explained. Whether I actually kind of got it, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, he's a manipulator. He's a very much a yeller. he's a big shouter, but he's a big kind of belief in kind of pushing somebody pushing someone beyond their limits and beyond even that. But again, it's what makes it so interesting. The film so interesting to watch is, well, wanting to find out what this guy's going to say next, and two, to kind of see where the character goes, and it goes in very kind of interesting places. But again, it's just what makes the film so interesting to watch is kind of finding out more about this character, even though they don't find loads about the character. But like I say, it's just interesting to watch, and it's just a very unlikable person, but you're not meant to like him, you're meant to hate him. He's kind of the villain of the piece, if you like, but you kind of understand why he does what he does. But it's just kind of what he does is pretty damn bad. I mean, throwing chairs at people, just shouting, just generally being a bit of a dick. Well, a lot of a dick, really, but played so brilliantly by J.K. Simmons, though, and I really hope, I think he will, but I really hope he gets some Best Supporting Actor, at least nomination. He might even win. Whether it'll get a lot of recognition, I'm not quite sure. I don't know if it kind of came out in the Oscar season, really. I don't know if it will get any nomination, but I really hope it does, because it's a really interesting film, and one of the main reasons is this character, and also kind of, yeah, obviously the actor J.K. Simmons, and it's just one of those guys that you see is kind of a really good character actor, but I mean, you don't, like, if you say someone who J.K. Simmons is, chances are they're probably not going to know who. But then you say, J. Jonah Jameson from Spider-Man films, yeah. Vern Schillinger from Oz, yeah, I know who that guy is. He's just a brilliant character actor, and he really brings a lot to the character itself, and which is why it's my top character of the year. So yeah, that'll about do for this countdown. So number 5, we had Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy. Number 4, we had Dwight from Blue Ruin. Number 3, we had Mason from Boyhood. Number 2, we had Lou Bloom from Nightcrawler. And at number 1, we had Terence Fisher from Whiplash. So yeah, that'll about do for this video. So join me tomorrow, where I'll be counting down my top 5 scenes of the year. So until tomorrow, please rate, comment and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.